this idea of giving artists access to technology was not just about the art. Partly it was to make the art, you know, artists working with contemporary materials, and perhaps the art becomes more relevant. But it really was the idea that the engineer, by working with the artist, was exposed to another environment, another milieu, and also another way of using his expertise that perhaps would take back to his own work, and it could influence the way he did technology and the certain decisions about how things were done. So it was this kind of idealistic idea that really got me, that I really, yeah, right, that's it. You know, that's something you want to work on. And that was in EAT from the very beginning, this whole idea of changing the world. The two collaborators speak very different languages, obviously. If you get too deeply into scientific language, you're lost very quickly. The artist doesn't have to know the engineer's language, and the engineer doesn't have to know the artist's technical or professional language. I think if you're focused on a project and on a goal, it doesn't matter. You begin to speak the same language. You speak the language of communicating with each other. And certainly Fred Waldauer had one of our great quotes that we always like to use. He said, in building the future, we're all amateurs, but the artist might be the best amateur. So it's this faith in the artist, faith in the, you know, in working with artists, that you get some kind of insight into what you're doing that you can carry with you.
When Missy Chandler and I went to see corporation heads, because they were the first ones we had to get committed to this project, we talked about the benefits that they and their colleagues in the companies, the benefits to them of working with artists. That was the sales pitch. The show itself was very exciting, but actually the exhibition wasn't a project that I had in mind when we started on this. I thought it would just be a tremendous way for artists to ventilate and to get input from companies. I hoped that companies might benefit from having artists in-house, and I think in certain cases that probably is true. There's sort of two types of interaction that are successful. One is when you have an artist with a very firm vision, and he finds a company that can explore and magnify the dimension of his work. So, for example, Claes Oldenburg. And then you have another kind of artist who really is in it for sheer probing, in a sheerly probative manner, like Irwin and Turrell. And when you get this magic going of one type or the other, having the possibility of real synergy, that's really extremely exciting.
I was on some panel, and somebody talked about how it took him years to develop a relationship or foster a relationship between people he wanted to collaborate. And I don't think it takes more than 5 seconds. If people have a common interest, they're going to collaborate. And if it took years to develop a collaboration, the atomic bomb would still be in the works. The other thing that we haven't mentioned, which we discovered, particularly when you get engineers involved in artist projects, engineers have an idea how this tool is to be used. And an artist may want to go outside of that use, may want to use it for something else or in an unorthodox way. And the engineer may not tell the artist of alternate solutions. He may have a hidden aesthetic of his own. It might not be conscious, but he just might not, he might not think that the artist would think that's a great idea or discovery. Because we always wondered what was in, what benefits accrued to the engineers by participating in this sort of thing. So I asked Billy, I asked Julie, did Billy ever talk about why John Pierce allowed all these guys to participate? And he said there was too much positive energy to stop.
Mark it and strike it, right?